What's up everyone, Sean here, and today I really wanted to sit down and talk about this topic on the Hawke Talks. And it involves with Pokemon. You know, as a huge fan of Pokemon, ever since from Pokemon Blue, or the Japanese Pokemon Green, that was only in Japan, but I imported it here, and me and my sister were playing it on the Gray Brick, and that's really where it started. But Pokemon Blue is where it really cemented my love for Pokemon. And ever since, I've played countless Pokemon games and just really love it. So that's why this topic from Kotaku back in May 2014 really got me thinking. And this article talks about the game that has potential and it might be the next Pokemon. And getting to the point, this game is called Yokai Watch. A lot of people have been mentioning about Yokai Watch here in the States, on the internet, and it's, you know, again, it's really got me thinking. And first off, Yokai Watch is another RPG game in Japan on the 3DS, and it is pretty much like Pokemon. It's a game where you capture monsters or ghosts in this case. You know, first off, yokai means ghost. So naturally, it might be called Ghost Watch in the States, but I think they might keep Yokai Watch, you know, but you know, kind of like how they kept Pokemon. This game has been a huge hit in Japan, and you know, they've already come out with a sequel for the 3DS. So like Pokemon, it does come out as two different versions, especially with Yokai Watch 2. One version is called Gonzo, and the other version is called Hawke. And so it's like very much like Pokemon, except that you don't have Pokeballs, you have medals that you forge friendships with ghosts, and these ghosts can fight other bigger ghosts, and then naturally you capture those ghosts, whatever. Pretty much how you do with Pokemon. You know, you capture Pokemon, you battle other Pokemon, you capture those Pokemon, and so on and so forth. And it's a very similar concept, but kind of different, but the theme is very much similar. And Yokai Watch has branched out to you know, anime and also manga, much like how Pokemon branched out as well. And first off, yes, Pokemon is a video game series, for those who don't know. Even my friend Danny got that mixed. He thought it was an anime series and it became a video game, whatever, and so on and so forth. But anyways, Yokai Watch really is pretty popular. I went to Japan last time in summer 2014, and you just see Yokai Watch all over the city, and just all over the place. And you see all these merchandise and all these posters, flyers, banners, and just you know, the posters on buses, you know, just advertisements, commercials, you know, and the snacks have Yokai Watch characters on them. It's just all over the place. It's really big. That really tells you how popular Yokai Watch is in Japan. Especially with Pokemon competing against it. And this is even further evident with 2014 sales, and I have the numbers right here. Yokai Watch 2, both Gonzo and Hawke combined, sold 3,050,178 copies, and this came out in July, while Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which came out in November 2014, made 2,464,850 sales or copies. And of course, note that, you know, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, these games were remakes, and they've already established popularity. So one would think, you know, it's already going to make a lot of sales, especially with the updates with 3D graphics and new designs, new Pokemon, all that stuff. Yokai Watch 2 has beaten it in Japan. So that really should tell you how popular and how much potential Yokai Watch might have here in the States. And yes, it is coming to the States. The game will actually come out here sometime in 2015, while the anime will come out in 2016. And Hasbro has already acquired a license to start making merchandise and they will be released once the TV show comes out here in the States. And so with that, the big question is, will this be the Pokemon killer or the next Pokemon, you know, what have you? And I really thought long and hard about it, and honestly, I think it won't be as popular as Pokemon just because of how legendary Pokemon is. You know, Pokemon is just well known worldwide, you know, by young and older audiences, and even the older audiences will already have heard the name. There's just many people that know Pokemon and have seen the anime and played the video game, and including myself and my friends. I think it's now to the point where any game that's trying to compete with Pokemon is not gonna win. I think it won't happen, to be honest, because we've already seen the genre. You know, there's a lot of animes and video gaming genres over and over and over again, whether it's just with monsters, toys, machines, you know, whatever, like anything that fight for this this trainer or whatever. You know, of course, Pokemon is a big example. Digimon is another example. Monster Rancher is another one, especially with the video game, you know, where you collect monsters. And also, I believe Dragon Quest does that as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tales of Symphonia and Dawn of the New World did that as well. And then, you know, branching out to other things that aren't monsters, but they pretty much fight for the trainers, quote unquote, or owners. And Yu-Gi-Oh is one of them. I think, you know, Fighting Foodons is another one. Beyblade is another big one, and Bakugan is another one as well. And there's just so much of that, and especially in Japan. Just because it's popular in Japan, it's not gonna mean that it's gonna be popular here. I mean, it just so happens that it is Pokemon is popular both in Japan and in the States, for the most part. And for example, Sonic the Hedgehog is very much popular in the States, and in Japan, Sonic is just not as popular. Meanwhile, Monster Hunter is popular in Japan, but in the States, a lot of people know about it, but not as many people play it. Another big reason why I think Yokai Watch is not going to be as popular as Pokemon is just because Pokemon came here first, and Pokemon was the RPG that introduced this whole aspect of capturing monsters and training them and battle them against other trainers, including other players who own the game as well, via link cable during the old days. And yes, you use a freaking cable to play with other people so that you can connect it to other Game Boys and battle each other's Pokemon. And that really took off, and again, it was made into a legend ever since. Now, if Yokai Watch came over here first, then, you know, Yokai Watch of course is going to be popular. Meanwhile, if Pokemon came later, that's not going to be as popular. I think some people may say that this is just going to be a Pokemon knockoff. And with that, it felt revolutionary. It felt pretty awesome because, you know, you never had RPGs that let you fight against each other, you know, with other players. And again, it revolutionized that aspect, and that's how it really took off. And during that time, a lot of people were introduced to Pokemon as their first RPG game, so that's why it's very memorable. You know, you always remember your first. So for a lot of people, when it comes to first RPGs, Pokemon is the one, including myself. And now, yes, of course, the younger audiences might see this and play this as their first RPG of their own, but chances are the older generation might introduce Pokemon to them either first or later, and it might captivate them to, you know, go to Pokemon instead of Yokai Watch. I mean, you never know. So it can go either way with Yokai Watch. But yeah, again, for me, I think it's not going to be as popular as Pokemon. I think it's just going to be popular as, let's say, Digimon or those other kinds of animes or other franchises, such as Skylanders and Disney Infinity and so on and so forth. So yeah, I really think that's not going to happen, and I mean, of course, once it comes to the States, it might be really popular at first, but sometime later, you know, that's where it really determines whether it's here to stay or not. And the anime series is, you know, not too bad. It's pretty entertaining. It's much like SpongeBob or those cartoons that kind of make little progression. It's always kind of like each episode is a theme, that kind of thing, and it's kind of slice of life, and each episode is broken down to several segments, and each episode is like a mundane, you know, everyday life problem, but with ghosts. So it's not bad. It's quite entertaining. I do like the characters, and they're, you know, they're pretty colorful, and you know, it's just entertaining enough for me to keep watching it. And Pokemon, you know, honestly, I've tried to watch it, you know, especially with Pokemon X and Y. You know, I really like X and Y better than Black and White, or Best Wishes, whatever you want to call that. But it's pretty much the same thing as all the other series with Pokemon. You know, Ash is capturing Pokemon, and he's battling gym leaders, and then he goes to this big league, and then he either wins or lose, and then he still wants to become the Pokemon Master, and you know, become the best, and traveling to other regions. So it's kind of been pretty hard for me to really keep up with Pokemon, you know, get myself motivated to keep watching it. So that is pretty much it for me on this topic. Again, I think it's not going to be as popular as Pokemon once it comes to the States. It might be just be another popular franchise, but it's not going to kill Pokemon. And just to note, this is coming from a guy that has never played Yokai Watch, and I'm just basing it off of what I've seen and just what I believe in. And of course, this is all a speculation. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up, and of course, if you have any comments, opinions, thoughts about this topic, please leave them down in the comment section, and I definitely want to read them. And if you haven't already, share and subscribe for this channel. Really appreciate it, and it definitely helps out. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and or on Twitter to get your latest updates on this channel. This has been the Hawke Talks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Sean out.